This mare I rescued from a kill lot in Oklahoma. She's a bucking bred mare from off of a ranch originally in Idaho. She was shipping to slaughter.
Hey y'all, Nate Eicher here. If you've been following the journey of this big mare behind us, today we're going to get her leading. We're gonna put a halter on her, get her out of the ram pen. We got some rain coming. We got to get her out. I'll see you in there. Hey, welcome back to this session with this big mare. Last session we got the rope on around her neck and we were starting to lead her around a bit. We still didn't get the halter on, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that here today because we really have to, because we got rain coming here tonight and I want to get her out of this round pen. I know I could leave her out here in the weather, but I'd rather have her under shelter, and so I'm gonna do my best to get this halter on today and get her leading better, and we'll see if we can't get her in the barn here and get her under shelter. So I'm just gonna rub on her a bit here before we get going with the rope and just see if we're still on the same page as we were in the last session. We ended on a really good note last session, and I'm basically just going to try to build from there if she'll let me. I know we're kind of in a time crunch, but I try never to let that pressure dictate on how quickly I move and do things before they're ready. But if she's ready for it, I'm going to continue to advance her. So the first thing I'm going to do is just reintroduce this rope around her neck and just put soft pressure on her, see if we're still on the same page there. And also this helps me just kind of guide her a little bit as I work my way down her neck with my hand. They're just a little uncomfortable, but she didn't run away. Really good. She's starting to handle pressure better. Great job. So what I like to do with a loose rope like this, before I put the halter on, if I can, is just kind of put it around their nose like a halter would be. And she's taken to that really good. I like how she remembers things. So that's really good. Now, my next goal is to get this halter on as soon as possible so we can work on leading. So, in order for me to put a halter on, the ideal position is up beside them like this. And this took, we've worked hard for this. We've worked hard to be able to get her comfortable with me being here. It's hard to, sometimes we forget how reactive she was, and she still is. So I have to be slow about my movement, but she's getting to trust me more and more, so I can slide in here a little sooner each time and get to rubbing on her. Good job. She's really starting to mellow out there, but I still have to be careful. And I love how she's coming forward on that light pressure. Last session, see right there, I came in a little too soon at a different angle. And it's just things we don't think about with a horse that's broke. But with her, she's very leery about things we haven't done before. And I've always slid my hand down here and then down her neck. And that time I just came in to her neck first. And so that was different, but it doesn't seem much to us when we're working with horses, but to a horse that's not been handled, it's a big deal. It can be a big deal. Good job. So now I'm going to slowly come in with my other hand and see if I can come up underneath her jaw. And this This here is another thing that we don't think about with horses that are broke, but with a wild or an unhandled horse, when you come up underneath their jaw like that, they're very likely to strike. And it happens so quick, it's unbelievable. And I've had close calls before, so I'm always very careful that I start rubbing down through here and make sure I don't surprise them. See right there? That was a little too much for her. There we go. Just slide my hand down. There we go. Great job. And if I keep building on that and never surprise her in a way that she freaks out, then it should just keep getting better and better. This side over here is still, you know, she's very defensive about it, but I keep slowly working on it. Every time I come over here, she turns her nose and tries to block me. So I just reach in there and try to rub and make her feel good, but it's something I'm gonna have to work on a lot. She's very defensive on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go get the halter. Really happy with how she did with that. And we're just gonna see if we can slide that halter on. We have this, I have the halter hanging on the gate here. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I have a halter that fits for sure, but this is the biggest one I could find. I don't typically train horses this big. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of my glove here, and what I'm going to do is just slide up beside her here and just rub on her, and then come back to the front and rub this halter on her. I mean, this is similar to the rope I was using, just a lot smaller, so it's not a huge deal. But what we might run into here, because she's so tall, right there, she got a little uncomfortable, so we'll just go with her. I'm not trying to trap, I'm not trying to trap her here. So if she gets uncomfortable, I'll just go with her, and I might even drop this halter. But because she's so big, I can't really reach over there to grab the tail of this halter, and I sure can't just swing it over, because if I go to swing it, you know, she's more than likely gonna run me over. Easy. So what I came up with is this rope here I'm going to use to help me get that tail across her neck without surprising her. So I'm just going to put that right there. So typically, you know, with a broke horse, you know, we can just reach across or ask them to put their head down and get the tail of that rope, or the other side of the halter, and just reach across and put the halter on, right? But with a horse like this that's really defensive on that right side, if I put my hand underneath and go to put it over or reach the top down, she's more than likely gonna go away from that hand and run into me. And if a horse like this runs into me, she will push me over. She's big. So I don't really want to be in that situation. All right, so what we're going to do is see if we can just get her comfortable with me being beside her again. Good. And gonna rub down through and see if we can't get this halter across her nose again. And then if I can hold that into place, and here's where hopefully I taught her to trust me a little bit. And if I can just rub this on her and slide it down here, and keep rubbing, then we might be able to tie it onto the tail of this halter here. Part of being a horse trainer is learning how to be creative, because it's not a cookie cutter kind of a deal. Every horse is different. Most horses, I've never had to do this before, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to slide that up her neck and try not to get too many hairs in with it. Good. See if we can slide that across her nose again. She's got so much hair and it's all knotted up on the other side. So part of getting her gentled will be combing out her mane and tail once she's there. Okay, so we got the tail across here. I'm gonna see if I can tie it. I'm actually gonna get rid of that. And at any point I can let this go and it'll just fall off. Like, this is nothing hard and fast. If I can tie it here, and then if she does take off, it's fine. I'm not gonna try to keep her with me. Okay, we got a halter on this horse. Finally. Now, she's not trained to lead or anything yet, but we finally got a halter on her, and she wants to stay with me. So that's great news. Now, what I'd like to do is just start asking her to move a little bit, and I'd like to get this rope out of the way. That halter, it's going to work, but I would like to get something a little bigger in the future. And I'll see if she might even follow that light pressure that we've been working on with the other rope. I'm not going to push it too much right now. But because this rope is so short, I'm going to add a rope to it. So I'm just gonna tie a square knot in here. And I know it's not ideal, but I do need a longer rope because she will still, you know, she's not trained, so at times she's going to leave and I don't want to have to let go. I wanted to get a halter without a rope on it and then just attach a long rope, but I didn't have anything here at the moment, so this will work. I love that she's wanting to be with me. With that halter on, she's really wanting to be with me. The work we've done with the lariat rope, you know, getting her to come to pressure, light pressure, is definitely paying off. But when we get her to move out, we'll see how much she, there we go. I'm not gonna pull on her, but what I want to do is see her move again, but then I want to start bringing light pressure. See right there, there's some resistance, and then she came to it. If I've done my homework with the other rope, then this is a lot easier because now you have nose pressure as well as pull pressure. Good job. So everything should be easier from here on out. Now we're gonna ask her to, so right there, she moved the wrong way. So I was very careful about putting the rope up over her back so it doesn't get caught on her hind end yet. We're gonna get to that, but we're not quite ready for it yet. It's very important that I teach her how to leave me. And one of the reasons being is if a horse is really reactive and they get scared, they'll run away from danger no matter if you're in front of them, so you can get hurt. So it's very important that she understands how to move away, just like that. It doesn't have to be that much, but it's very important that she understands how to move away from pressure as well as coming to pressure. Good job. That was great. Great job. Let me go back and do some more rubbing. Now, because we are going to be leading her outside this round pen, I do want her to be comfortable with that rope touching back in her flank area and her hindquarters. Because if she does decide to leave, I don't want that to scare her, because she might kind of blow by me here when we're walking in there. So I'm going to see if I can start teaching her to be okay with that pressure. So I'm purposely asking her to move away from me, and then here in a little bit, there we go. So that rope slid over her back, and since she's okay with the rope on her back, which I thought she might be the way she's been acting, since she's okay with this kind of stuff, what I mean by okay is she's not freaking out by it. I might go ahead and start putting it a little further back, like right there I put it on her hindquarters, and she didn't run away from that, she just kept on jogging. Good job. Good job. She's coming around really nice. Really nice. Good job. There she's letting down. Give her a little mental break here. Excellent. Now what I like to do is ask her to leave, and then I'm going to see if I can change directions with her. She turns in so much that it's almost hard to get her to turn out. And that's okay. Good job. She's got nice movement about her. And she's getting more and more comfortable with moving around me. She's starting to get a nice little jog. So we're just going to start working on the leading, asking her to move around me, then leading forward. She's coming forward to pressure pretty good. What I'm more concerned about with her is when something scares her out there that she's just going to take off and leave. That's what I'm concerned about with her. As far as leading forward, I think she'll be fine that way. But when something scares her and she gets in a tight area, I think what she's going to do, what her go-to thing is just to blow by me. And so if she does that, I'll typically kind of let them do it this early on. I won't try to hold them in place because they'll start to panic. But then as soon as they kind of get out there, I want to be able to draw them back in. Good job. So it's very similar to how I train weanlings. Like, I don't try to make them lead right here early on. I just kind of let them lead where they want to lead back there in a general area. Then if something scares them and they kind of move out, it's okay. We're not trying to hold them in place until they start to relax. So what I like to do is get an outside turn. There we go. See, the rope is over her back purposefully. And then as she's going around, I'm going to start moving that rope. There we go. That was good. There. See, I like that she's not bothered by that. Some horses would be, but I was pretty sure just from some of the things she did that she wouldn't be too much. Good job. So now what I like to do is keep her going. And then put that a little further down her butt. There we go. I'm going to release her because she stopped even with that on her. That is a really great job right there. Now ideally, I'm going to see if I can get her moving that way again and let it fall all the way down. I don't recommend trying this at home. I have years of experience here, so I got a lot of timing and feel that's helping me make the right moves here to not scare her. But this is like a step-by-step thing here, and then as soon as we drop it down further, there we go, just enough to where she felt it, and then I'll let it go. Good job. That's excellent. Whoop. See, my hand dropped a little too soon there. Now, ask her to step off this rope. Here's another thing. Typically, with a broke horse, we just reach down and get that rope. But with a Mustang or an unhandled horse, if I would do that, they're very likely to strike because I just haven't put my hand down there yet. So it's a thing that we don't think about too much, but you can get hurt really quick doing that. At this stage anyways. Good job. So that was excellent. Let's do a little more leading here. We are getting close to where we can get her out of this round pen and lead her into that pen over there under cover. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and set up some panels. Make sure if she does get loose, she don't run off. So I'm going to set those up and we'll lead her on out of here. All right, so we got the panels set up. The reason I do that is if a young horse or wild horse, unhandled horse, gets loose, they don't go too far. And so I got the panel set up, but I'm gonna try to lead her over to that area and we'll see how it goes. This could be good, or it could turn out pretty interesting. So basically I'm just gonna act like she's a broke horse, and it seems she's starting to like me a little bit, so it seems like she wants to be with me. So that's always a good thing, but I still won't put too much pressure on her. Here I'm gonna just ask her to take a step. There we go. And going through like a tight area, even though this seems big, it might seem tight to her. I just need to be aware as we're walking through here, as soon as she comes up here, she might bolt. So I have my rope ready to where I can kind of just let her go for a little bit and then try to gather her up without scaring her. That's why I'll use a long rope in situations like this. Right here, she's unsure, so I'm gonna let her take her time. The last thing we need to do is make her claustrophobic. There we go. I like how she's thinking her way through it. And this is a lot like obstacle training. You know, if I take my time with them and let them think their way through it, then it usually turns out pretty good. There, I'm gonna ask for a step. She took 2. That's great. We might go ahead and just keep walking here. And if she wants to stop at any point, I'm sure gonna let her do that. I want her to think her way through it and not get scared. Great job. And I might even go up here and rub her, since she don't seem like she's in a panic right now. You have to be careful doing this in a tight area too, because if they do get scared, they'll run on top of you. They'll run on top of you, so that was really good. Let her go a few steps and then let her stop and breathe. There, she's starting to freak out just a little bit, so I'm gonna just try to guide her. Try not to let her turn around, but if she does, it's not a big deal. There we go. I like that. She decided to just take a breath and let down a little bit. All right, we'll see if we can do another step. Good job. I like how she thinks her way through things. That makes me think that she's going to be fine. I believe she'll make a pretty decent horse. Okay, I'm asking for another step, and she just isn't quite sure about it yet, so there we go. I release right there. I try never to be in a hurry in any part of their training. Great job. Now, because she's semi-relaxed, we'll go ahead and see if we can get another step or 2 or more. That's good. Really good. And there, if she wants to stop, I'll sure let her. I'm just trying to be kind of a guide here. See right there, she thought about leaving, and she still is. And I'm just gonna see if I can help her relax right here. She heard some weird noises, but I love that she came to the pressure of the halter. Because of that work we put into that, it was a guide, it was a comfort to her. And now she could stand still and just wait on me, even though she's pretty scared. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and go a few more steps here. But she was definitely looking for a way out, and I was really glad she made the choice to just breathe and take her time. All right, we'll go ahead and keep easing our way in here. Great job. Boy, she's just doing so good in here. But you never know. You never know. You can put all the work in and, you know, hope it'll go well. Great job. So we'll go ahead and ask her to see if she's a little leery about coming around this corner. We'll see if we can kind of loosen our feet up a little bit. There we go. So she can see around this corner. Awesome. Thinking our way through it. Those ears are going every which way. Really good though. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just come into here. I put a little bit of hay in here and I'm gonna put some more in. But I know she loves her hay, so the next thing I wanna do is let her relax in here a little bit, and then, yeah, go ahead and eat that hay. Then I want to shut the gate and get this halter off of her. Really good. So this is where I should have someone else to help me, but we're just going to see if we can keep her relaxed enough to undo this gate. I love that she wants to be with me here. Really, really good. Great job. Well, we got her in and couldn't have asked for it to go any better. Now I'm just going to see if I can get this halter off and let her enjoy her new home here. And be out of the rain, out of the weather. Still can't forget that she's very, very sensitive here yet. So just gonna move real slow here and see if I can get this halter off and make this a really good experience for her. Great job. All right, go ahead and eat your hay. See if we can get her feet trimmed and help her be a horse that someone can enjoy. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.